to believe, but the richest country in the world is struggling to put food on the table. Is it the result of the financial crisis or simply government mismanagement? To find out, let's go to Priya Sridhar in our Washington studio. Hi, Priya. Is the U.S. going hungry?
Well, according to the latest numbers, it seems like many people are. Almost 15% of U.S. households reported having very low food security. So what's going on? Well, joining me to help figure it out is Gerald Celente, director of the Trends Research Institute. Mr. Celente, thank you so much for joining me. So I want to
thank you.
I want to ask you, what did you make of these numbers? Were they surprising to you?
At all. America is becoming an underdeveloping nation. And the number, we're looking at 90% of black children years old, 50% of the other children also on food stamps before they're 20 years old. We're looking at numbers, for example, we have some 35 million people on food stamps in the United States, seven months in a row of increases at a 26-year high. And the numbers just keep getting worse. We're looking at a 6% increase in the amount of children that are hungry throughout the day, up from a year ago, over 1 million from 700,000. So it's clear what's going on, that the gap between the rich and the poor is taking its toll on the nation.
And, you know, President Obama set a deadline to end hunger among children by 2015. You've predicted that the economy is going to get worse. Do you think that's a realistic deadline?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, I just asked you about President Obama tried to set a deadline to end hunger among children by the year 2015. And I know that you had predicted that the economy is actually going to get worse by 2015. So do you think that's a realistic deadline to end hunger among all children in, you know, only a couple years?
Well, no, it's ridiculous. It's not a question of ending hunger among children. It's about creating jobs. And when you look at, you know, people have to work. It's not about the government feeding them. And what you have now is an effective unemployment rate at 17.5%. Look, again, you had last year, the amount of people that ate in soup kitchens went up 25%. So it's not a question of putting more in there to feed the hungry and the homeless. It's about returning the economy to a growth element. People could work and fend for themselves.
Okay, and I want to ask you, you know, this is all happening as reports are showing that institutional investors are investing more money in emerging foreign markets rather than right here in the United States. How do you think that's going to affect the United States economy in the coming years?
Short term, it's going to affect them, but let's not give the institutional investors so much credit. They also invested in auction rate securities, credit default swaps, subprime mortgages, you know, from Austria to Sweden, from Russia to the UK. Everybody made bad bets. No, they're playing the game now. So packages that are being pumped up throughout the world are making the emerging markets more popular. Short term, they will be, but the trend is much bigger than that.
And, you know, it seems like all of this is happening as the Obama administration is dealing with a lot of domestic problems like job loss and hunger, like we just talked about. Do you think that the American government could do anything extreme to try to distract the American public from all the problems that are going on here at home?
Well, we don't think they would do anything, you know, intentionally. Of course, they did send the country to war for bogus reasons in Iraq. They told us Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. The real problem that we see, and current events today, the headline dates wants Pakistan to increase its civil war going on there. So we're looking at of some kind of terror strike that's going to hit the U.S. or someplace around the world, 11 proportions. If something happens like that, the government goes into high gears and things really become very fearful. It's also important that after 9/11 came down, the Pentagon was hit. There's never a threat of any global power or terrorist cell that could take down the United States, the military in the world, but they will put fear out the people who respond accordingly.
Well, Mr. Celente, it's always great to hear from you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. But for now, I'm going to throw it back to you guys in Moscow.
All right, thank you, Priya Schreeder. That was our correspondent, Priya Schreeder, reporting from our Washington studio. Thank you.